Hey there, guys. Ringside Collectibles has now shown off what Elite Series 111 is going to look like, who's going to be in the set, and truly what are the figures going to look like. Of course, we saw images of them before, but you can't fully see them. You see them out of their accessories, and you kind of just find out more things about the figures. So let's take a look at these figures. First up, let's take a look at Cody Rhodes. Overall, I think this figure looks very good. I really do like Cody Rhodes figures. I feel like almost every single figure he's had released is at least passing. It is at least good. And so, yeah, this one just looks very, very good. I'm excited for this figure. Will I be picking it up? Probably not, but I still think it's a great figure. I just don't personally need it. I have the Supreme. I'm probably going to get the Ultimate Cody. I already have another Elite Cody, and so I really just don't need it, but it is great. If you're the type of person to just collect good figures, that's you. I'm more of a completionist. I just like to get one figure of everybody. And, of course, sometimes have multiple of my favorites, or if they have two really cool figures, I'm going to get it. But I mainly just stick to having one of each. There's only one issue I have with this figure, and I've had it on all of his WWE figures. I like how AEW did it. As you can see on the face in this picture, he has part of his tattoo on the head sculpt and half of it on his neck. Not only does it look very weird, it's also actually inaccurate. If you take a look at the picture I'm showing on your screen, there is a gap between his tattoo and his ear. In this picture right here, his tattoo is basically touching the bottom of his ear. So yeah, it's definitely inaccurate. But then, not only that, if you turn his head to the left, like let's say he's just looking over to the left, then there's this just spot that looks weird because it's half of his tattoo and it's not connected because his neck doesn't move whenever he turns. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, I do hope they fix it. The Supreme that I personally have and all of the other AEW figures I believe that he has was all correct, and they did it. Now, the tattoo itself is very colorful. I think they did the color better than AEW did, but it's just still in the wrong place. So now let's move on to Finn Balor, and I'm a big fan of Finn Balor. I think he has some very nice figures. Of course, any demon figure is going to look cool just because the overall attire of a demon figure is cool. But this one, I don't know. I'm not quite a fan of it. Of course, I think they got his tattoos correct. I'm glad that he comes with a nice jacket. I love cloth goods. I think the attire is cool, but the head sculpt isn't quite doing it for me. I think it just doesn't really look like him. So yeah, I really don't know what's going on there. I definitely like his last figure. It was like Elite Series 10, 108 or something, like 105, 104, something like that. It really wasn't too long ago. I think the head sculpt on that was a lot better. This one just doesn't do the job. Not only that, look at the size of his legs. His legs are so tiny. I mean, Finn Balor is a very built guy. He definitely doesn't have little tiny legs. I mean, these are like children legs. So yeah, not a fan of this. I do think eventually we're going to get a Finn Balor Judgment Day version as an Ultimate Edition. We already got a Damian Priest and a Dominic that we know is in the works and should be coming soon. I believe next we got to get Finn and Rhea in the Ultimate Edition line. So I'm definitely not going to be picking this one up. Definitely knowing that an Ultimate Edition could be on its way. I think I would probably personally take the other Finn Balor, the other Judgment Day Finn Balor over this one. So yeah, just my current opinions on this figure. Now let's move on to one I am so excited for. This is Tony D'Angelo, first time in the line. Like I had told you guys, I'm a completionist. So I want one figure of everybody. And I'm going to be honest, if you tune into my podcast and you watch all my videos, you may know I'm not a big fan of Tony D'Angelo. He's actually one of my kind of least favorite wrestlers right now on NXT, but that doesn't mean I don't want a figure of him. And I think his figure could look very, very good. So that's why I'm excited for it. And then you add on to that he comes with not only one, but two cloth shirts. One, of course, being the tank top and one being the coat, both looking very, very cool. And that white tank top, t-shirt, whatever you want to say, you really could put that on basically anybody, and there's kind of like a street type gear. He comes with a nice hat. So just a lot of accessories. You really get a lot with this figure. So yeah, I'm very excited. And then if you look at his head sculpt, I think the head sculpt is very, very good. You notice sometimes when it's somebody's first figure, they're down in NXT, and It's just like, it's nice having them in the line. Sometimes their head sculpt is very off. We kind of saw that with, he wasn't on the NXT, but Grayson Waller's first head sculpt was off. Carmelo Hayes was really off, in my opinion. And so, yeah, while some of these head sculpts are off, I think Tony D'Angelo's is near perfect. But there's one thing that just stands out to me, and I really do not like it. And that's the size of his chest or his upper body. They gave him what looks to be kind of like a Samoa Joe top or the newest Solo Sikoa. And look at Tony D'Angelo. This guy is very, very fit. He doesn't have anything that would make anybody think that he's overweight or anything like that. So yeah, his entire torso is just way too big in my opinion. They should have made it a lot smaller. So yeah, that's just the big thing that sticks out to me, and it's really the only issue I have with the figure personally. But even though that is a problem, I'm still very excited for the figure. Next up, we got somebody that just really, really recently departed from the WWE. One of my personal favorite wrestlers, Ricochet. And Ricochet has very, very cool attires. A lot of his attires are kind of inspired from like superheroes and different things like that, which I think is very, very cool. So yeah, this is definitely going to look very, very good on the figure. If you see the jacket that he has, I love when they have those kind of shiny material that they use for the jackets. I think it's going to be a very, very good quality figure. And of course, for the cherry on top, you got a little necklace, as you can see on the bottom right. So yeah, that'll look very nice. I think the head sculpt is very, very good. I do enjoy it. Of course, they always get his tattoos. He's got some colorful tattoos. And so tattoos always look great on figures. So yeah, I'm very excited for this figure. Next up is what I'm most excited for. One I've been like dying to get. Somebody I've been wanting for them to just sign him on a Legends contract. Hurry up and do it. I want a figure of him in my collection. And finally, they have signed him. Sandman. I'm a big ECW guy. I just love ECW. And of course, Sandman being one of the ECW originals. And I just think this is just so cool. And look at everything that he comes with. He comes with some barbed wire that, of course, you can wrap around him. He comes with a very nice quality looking ECW shirt, a kendo stick, and not only that, 4 cans of what we're known to be probably an alcoholic beverage. So yeah, I'm just very, very excited. Of course, he's in his ECW gear. And this might be negative to some people, of course, because he's known for being in the jeans and then, of course, the black ECW shirt. That's kind of what he's known for. But in ECW, this was probably his most popular gear. So it does make sense, yet I probably would have preferred him in the other gear. I hope we get it somewhere down the line. We might get a basic figure of it or something. I don't really care what it is. I'm just glad we're getting a Sandman figure. And just getting barbed wire is very cool. I think the head sculpt, it's not perfect. By no means is it perfect, but it gets the job done. I think I like it. And I like his shoes. I think they're very colorful. Well, not colorful, but black and white, very very cool design is what I should say. So yeah, not only do we get that, he's also the chase in the set. And so he is going to come with all the same accessories like the other figure does, but he's going to be in the red, white, and blue American flag pants. And for some people, of course, this is going to be a big deal, but I'm not going to be one to come chase this down. I just want the regular version. Of course, if I find it, I'll get it and probably add it to the collection, but it's not something I'm going to worry about finding. But yeah, the regular version of Sandman, I am so excited. This is a must-buy. I will find it. I don't think it should be too hard to find, but I definitely don't think it's definitely not going to shelf warm at all. Next up is a weird one. This is Trish Stratus. And not because of the figure is why it's weird, but we only got 3 photos of this figure. There's the front shot of the box, the back shot, and then the side of the box. We don't get any loose looks at her. Of course, we got that one photo when it was live on the display, but you would think we would get an updated version. So kind of makes you think, I wonder if they're still working on it, still fixing some things, or what's going on. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Usually we get the same amount of pictures for every single figure, but this one's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of excited for the figure to get an updated Trish Stratus. I feel like Trish Stratus figures usually are not very good at all, and honestly, people are hyping this up and thinking that it's going to be the best Trish yet, but even the head sculpt on this one, I believe, is still off. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it means anything or If anything is going to change with the figure, I don't really know. But I do think it's cool to have an updated version of her. So yeah, there's Elite 111. I'm very excited for this set. My two most exciting figures are going to have to be the two first time in the lines, of course being Sandman and Tony D'Angelo, but my most exciting is going to have to be Sandman. I've just been waiting on a Sandman figure for a long time. This is somebody I'm a huge fan of. You're probably going to, spoiler, you're going to see him on the Power and Glory pick feds coming soon. I'll get him involved somewhere in the pick fed. Some way, I'm going to. But yeah, I feel like WWE Elites just keep improving and improving. We're getting more people into the line. They're starting to insert some more NXT people. So yeah, I'm very excited. I feel like wrestling figures are on the top of their game right now. And that's just not even talking about WWE Mattel Elites. I'm talking about AEW figures are still very good. And then you got these side, I guess you could call them indie promotions or whatever you want to call indie figures of like the Power Town figures are amazing. You've got these other major bendies and these other kind of, they're all just very, very cool. And it's cool getting to see all the different things. You got Boss Fight Studios making MLW figures. So yeah, I'm going to try and get a variety of stuff in my collection. I've got to kind of go every 6-inch scale toy lines. And of course, some of them are out of scale. Some of them are 6.5. Some of them might be 5.5. But if it's in the realm to where you could stand them side by side, you can put them on your shelf and it'll still look kind of correct. I'm going to try and get one from each toy company so I can kind of just have them lined up and I can see like what truly is the best. And just so you can compare and contrast. I'm not going to expect any of them to be like WWE Elites or Ultimate Editions, but I do want to get a different variety.